Hi friends, welcome back to our final lesson together for Too Good for Drugs, lesson 10. I'm Miss Larkin. So last time we were together, we talked about nicotine and tobacco products. We learned about some of the harmful effects that are short-term and long-term of nicotine, like a short-term effect is yellow teeth, and a long-term effect might be addiction. We also learned about some benefits of being nicotine and tobacco-free. We learned that nicotine and tobacco is really expensive, and we're going to have more money for other things if we aren't buying those things. We also learned that we'll have a healthier heart, better looking skin, and healthier lungs. Today, we're going to talk about another drug that can interfere with our ability to reach our goals. We're going to talk about marijuana. I'm going to read you a story about a guy named David. I want you to listen because we're going to help David out after we finish reading about him. So let's meet David. David is in the 8th grade and he loves to play baseball. He's been on the school team since he was in 6th grade. David doesn't want to do anything that would hurt his ability to play well. Recently, he heard a lot of people talking about marijuana, but he isn't sure what to believe about it. One of his teammates wanted to try the drug. David wants to know the facts about marijuana. So let's help David think about what he would need to play baseball. So take a look at your worksheet in the section titled In Full Swing. In that section, I want you to write down 4 things that David needs to be a good baseball player. So 4 skills or abilities that David would need to be a good baseball player, to show up to practices, and to make sure that he's always doing what he's supposed to do when it comes to baseball. So go ahead and take 3 minutes and do that now, and then we'll talk about what you came up with. Okay, so let's look at some of the things you might have come up with. I'm going to read you the list that I have, but you might have something else, and that's probably a good one too. So I came up with, you would need to be fast. You would also need to have really good reflexes. You would need to have good concentration and good memory. You would need to be able to focus. You would need to be strong. And you'd also need to be really dedicated and motivated. So if I have dedication, I'm willing to go to practices, even when maybe I'd rather be laying on the couch, and I'm motivated to get up and actually go. "25? If you said 25, you're right. So it's growing and developing until you're 25 years old. And remember, that doesn't mean you can't learn after 25. It just means your brain's done growing. Just like you're going to stop getting tall one day, but you could still get stronger. Your brain's the same way. Now, marijuana gets in the way of your brain's ability to learn, to grow, and to develop healthy. So that's why it's so important that we don't use marijuana when our brain is still growing and developing. Now let's help David learn some of the effects that marijuana use could have on him. Look at the section on your worksheet titled Fallout. On the left column is a list of the effects of marijuana use. These effects change the way your brain and your body work. Let's review these together. Number 1 says reduced motivation. This is when the users no longer care about the things, people, or activities that were once important to them. So the things that used to be really important, like in David's case, maybe baseball, would stop being as important. And he might say, I'd rather just stay home today. Number 2 is poor concentration. Users can no longer pay attention or stay focused. So it gets harder to listen and learn and to stay focused on what that new information is that you're learning. Number 3 says poor coordination. Users no longer have the ability to make different parts of their body work together smoothly and efficiently. So everything in my body, kind of like the message from my brain goes to my hands, and it's slower and not as quick as it could be. Or I miss the thing that I'm grabbing at. And that can be really difficult if I'm trying to say, run. And finally, number 4, short-term memory loss. Users can no longer recall information they recently processed. So maybe it's harder for them to remember the thing they learned in school the day before, or maybe even the week before. They can't quite remember how that movie ended they watched over the weekend or what they had for dinner last night. Remembering that new information gets trickier for them. Just like alcohol, marijuana use impairs the many functions of my brain and body. So let's look back at all the skills and abilities that we listed as needing to play baseball. Okay, they're all up here now. So which one of all these do you think gets affected because you're smoking marijuana? Maybe it's how fast you are. Maybe it's your concentration. Maybe it's your dedication. It's actually all of them. All this stuff gets affected if you're using marijuana. Users not only damage their brains and their bodies, but they also can have other negative effects and negative consequences from using marijuana. So let's help David understand the effects of marijuana and how they could interfere with his ability to be a really great baseball player. So look at the right side of the chart in the section titled The Negative Consequences in Baseball. I want you to consider each effect of marijuana on a person's ability to play. And then write down 2 negative consequences of this effect. So, for example, number 1 says reduced motivation. Users no longer care about things, people, or activities that were once important. So under number 1, under negative consequences in baseball, I wrote would get kicked off the team because the coach isn't going to want him there if he's not all invested in playing, or he might quit the team because he's not motivated to keep going. So I want you to take the next 5 minutes and see if you can answer 2, 3, and 4. So take those 5 minutes and then we'll look at what answers you might have come up with. Okay, let's review what you came up with. For number 2, for poor concentration, a user can no longer pay attention or stay focused. Well, you might have that they might get hit in the head with the ball because if they're out in left field and they're not really paying attention, because we all know that sometimes the outfield can be a little slow and distraction's easy for somebody who's not even using marijuana. But if they are, paying attention and staying focused on the game can be even harder. Maybe I won't know when it's my turn to go up to bat because I'm too busy being unfocused on the stands or on the bench. Number 3 says poor coordination. Users no longer have the ability to make different parts of their body work together smoothly and efficiently. So my running the bases is not going to go so well because my brain's going to tell my body to start running, but it's not going to do it as quickly as it could. And the same goes with swinging and catching the ball too. And finally, short-term memory loss. Users can no longer recall information they recently processed. I might forget how many outs there are, what position I'm supposed to be playing. Is it shortstop or is it second base today? I can't remember. What order I am in the batting lineup or the signals from the coach about when I should steal or bunt. I think we've helped David realize that staying drug-free is what's going to help him to accomplish being a really great baseball player, which is one of his goals. But more than that, it's going to help him with all his goals in all areas of his life. Marijuana use is harmful to your brain and body, and it can affect your behavior, your health, and your safety. Just like alcohol and nicotine, marijuana can interfere with your ability to reach your goals. So staying alcohol, drug, and nicotine-free is so important to your growing healthy body. All right, friends, I've had a great time teaching you so many amazing things, and you've learned so much. And now you know how to make all these great, amazing decisions, and you're going to rule the world. You are amazing. I hope to see you again really soon. Bye, friends.